I've always said there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites. Which I
no matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles.
Good morning and welcome to Open Air on Atlantic Television Network. Open Air is the network's flagship political platform through which trending political news, events and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system and actor to explore hope and engender positive impacts to the society. Today on Open Air, we'll look at these stories. First, Rivers crisis. We are sorry for Fubara's misdeeds. Rivers Ejo begs Wike. Still on Rivers State, please don't put fire in my state. Makinde begs Wike. And on Anambra State, beavers unreliable, will not use it for local government posts, and SIEC has to say. And then on to Ogun State, PDP crisis deepens as two states chairmen emerge. On Benue State, PDP G14 advises Soswam to resign membership. On the National Assembly, reps invite EFCC, very dark man, Bobrisky over bribery allegations. And on banditry allegation, court OK suit compelling federal government to probe Matawale. And on end bad governance protest, organizers write police seek security during October 1 protest. We are open for advert placements, bookings and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll delve right into the show. Do not go away.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To conduct this act, I proper critical belief of this minister and the government. Give us access to our money we put in the account.
I've always said there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites. Which I
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the government. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence. To condemn this act, I proper critical to leave of this minister and the government.
Give us access to our money we I've always said there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites. Which I
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence. To condemn this act, I proper critical to leave of this minister and the government.
Give us access to our money.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence. To condemn this act, I proper critical to leave of this minister and the government.
Give us access to our money I've always said there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites. Which I
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence. To protect this act, I purpose to get to leave.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Air this morning is Honorable Olaka, a political analyst. Good morning, Honorable Olaka.
Good morning, Larisha. Good morning, viewers.
And you look good, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Today is Sunday.
All right. And also joining me on Open Conversation is Ugochukwu Ifeanyichukwu, a political analyst and a regular on the show. Good morning, Ugochukwu, and welcome to Open Air.
Morning, Laurentia. Morning, Honorable Laka, and thank you for reminding Nigerians again about the Niger Delta trend. And Laurentia, if
okay, Honorable Laka's dressing is reminding Nigerians of the Niger
Delta that trended when Jonathan held sway in Nigeria. Abuja was always agog with Niger Delta dressing and their cap. So. And there is one thing I want to make a passionate appeal to the federal government and the Imo State government led by Senator Hope Uzodinma. And by extension, I'm also calling the attention of Ugochi Nyere Ikenga to the deplorable condition, not even deplorable, the collapsed section of Olo to Akokwa Road. Somebody sent me a clip of that road, Laurentia. I hope I will send you that clip so that ATN can really, flash it on their space for Nigerians to see what the governance of Rocha Sokorocha for 8 years did to his people with all the ecological funds, the borrowed funds, and everything in that particular space. It is disheartening. It is a sin that you will see and you begin to weep for the people of that particular Olo zone.
Right. And on to the story. Ijaw ethnic nationality under the auspices of Rivers Ijaw People's Congress has apologized to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, for the misdeeds of the Rivers State Governor, Sasimlaye Fubara. Speaking through the Director of Finance and Administration, Niger Delta Development Commission, Boma Iyaye, Rivers Ijaw openly apologized to Wike and told him to disregard the misbehavior of an individual and continue to relate with the Ijaw people. He begged him not to judge the Ijaws on Rivers through the behavior of one person. He said it is not in the nature of Ijaw people to pay good with evil and that they are not ungrateful people. That is why they are celebrating him. The stakeholders spoke in unison during a civic reception they organized at Amadiama Abuloma, Okrika local government area of the state to honor the minister. The reception attracted Ijaw leaders, traditional rulers, politicians, among others, from Ijaw-dominated local government areas of the state. All known Ijaw cultural dance troupes and wrestling groups were in display to welcome Wike, whom they said Ijaw should eternally remain grateful to for producing from among them a governor and influencing the appointments of their sons and daughters at the federal level. The FCT minister was accompanied to the event by the Petroleum Minister, State, Henikin Lopobri, Adamawa State Governor, Amadou Fintiri, former governors and members of the G5, Samuel Otom, Benue State, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, Enugu State, and Okezie Ikpeazu, among others. Wike mocked the camp of the governor for opting for the APP as their alternative political party. He said, imagine in Rivers they are contemplating of APP. It is not about money. Money does not move. You can have all the money, but if there is no capacity, there is no capacity. All the things you see are people envious of our growth. We have defeated them severally, and if opportunity comes again, we will defeat them again. We have not started politics. When the time comes, we will play politics. Our job is politics. Tell them to keep their party ready. We will teach them what is called politics. Wike, who called all House of Assembly members representing a jaw extraction to join him on the stage, said out of 12 of them, 10 were supporting the Speaker, Martin Samehule. He said 10 were against the alleged abuse of the Constitution and non-performance of the governor. Wike said it was not true that Ijaw people were fighting him, but that few ungrateful people among the ethnic nationality were put up to such disposition. He said, "It is an interesting occasion. When they honored me, many people go and speak on TV as if they are representing Ijaw. 10 Ijaw lawmakers out of 12 are saying that the governor has done infractions of the Constitution. These are people representing Ijaw in the assembly, and they are saying that he is not doing well. If anybody tells you that Ijaw people are fighting me, it is not true. It is just few ungrateful Ijaw people. If a father has 12 children and one can be an armed robber, does it mean all of them are armed robbers?" We can describe the crisis period in Rivers State as a time for some people to enrich themselves, adding that such persons see the state government as a big market. He said persons who initially told him that they did not serve him, the master, still served the servant, Fubara, were the ones running to the servant in pursuit of their stomachs. But he said, "They are not fighting me, I am too big. If you don't recognize someone bigger than you, know you are sick. I am far bigger, and all of them put together, they can't withstand it." Wike observed that his rivals had not won any matter they instituted against the members of the State House of Assembly, describing Fubara's camp as disorganized. "The ring road was me," he said. "I initiated them thinking we would work together. They are now bragging that they are the ones. I have gone to Abuja to repeat what I did in the States. Go and see the testimony." In his goodwill message, the Managing Director, NDDC, Dr. Samuel Obuku, said he was a direct beneficiary of Wike's benevolence. Speaking on behalf of G5, former Governor of Benue State, Samuel Otom, described Wike as a good man who would never abandon his friends. "We appreciate God for Wike, and we appreciate Ijaw people for this reception. He is a good man and a good friend and brother. He will not abandon his friend and brother at the time of his needs. We appreciate Mr. President for appointing you as a minister, and we appreciate you for not disappointing Mr. President. We pray for you," he said. The Adamawa State Governor, Amadou Fintiri, described the celebration as an honor and a means to build peace in Rivers State. He said as one of the leaders of the PDP, they would continue to look for ways to reconcile Wike and the governor, Similaye Fubara. Honorable Laka, let me start with you. That was a long read, but the FCT minister had a lot to say during this reception by the Rivers Ijaws. What do you have to say to this story?
Quite unfortunate. People who group themselves, maybe clique of friends, and then they target Ijaw people. I think there has to be a time when we should define what constitutes Ijaw nation, or who and who should be speaking for Ijaw. If I call maybe 2-3 friends, and then we gather somewhere and we say Ijaw people have spoken or Ogoni people have spoken, I do not see that how that is reflecting the entirety of the Ijaw nation. As a matter of fact, I am not particular about what name they have called themselves. What is interesting here is, and my area of interest is the word misdeed of the governor of Rivers State, Similaye Fubara. I want to say that if I am asked to say, I would ask Bumayaye and Co or Kelly, and those who organized that program they called Ijaw Post Program, to immediately withdraw that statement and send an unreserved apology to Mr. Governor of Rivers State, Similaye Fubara. I would have been happier, or it would have been clearer if they had stated exactly what constituted misdeed that the governor had done to deserve, warrant that apology to the FCT minister. And now, again, they said one single individual cannot, the character or the attitude of one single individual should not be used to adjudge the entire Ejo nation. I dare to say to them and inform them in case they are not aware. Sasinala Ifubara is no longer a single individual, but he is an entity now that represents Rivers people and by extension Ijaw people. And so whatever the governor does is a representation of the interests of the Ijaw people and Rivers people. And so Sasinala Ifubara cannot be described as one single individual. Please, I want to say no to that description. That doesn't befit the governor of the state. I have to also, in addition, for the issue of those who are fighting or who belong to the governor to join a particular party and all of that, that is also another area they misfire. They mentioned the name APP. I am a Rivers man and I am simplified. I am fully simplified, but I am not of the APP. I am a member of the National Rescue Movement. As a matter of fact, I'm a member of the National Rescue Movement, and National Rescue Movement is part of the election that they are calling an APP about. And so everybody, the governor has said he is a member and remains a member of the PDP. He said that to the BOT when they came to visit him at the State House, and has decided to remain a member of PDP. Of course, that's why he was elected, and he's still holding. You can see him going around the campaign train and all that has happened in the previous election. He was fully participating. The Governors Forum had activities, series of activities, meetings, and all of that. The governor has been part and parcel of all of that. And there is no way the governors should be linked to any other party or APP. The governor
the candidates that are running for election under APP, are they not appointees? Some of them appointees of the governor. Are they not directly linked?
Let me put the record straight.
Yes,
the candidates that are running on this in this election, some of them are members of either members of caretaker. Some of them are caretaker chairmen currently in Rivers State. I want to inform you.
On what platform were they appointed? PDP
they were appointed as Rivers sons and daughters.
Under the platform of PDP.
They were appointed. You
cannot hold a political appointment of such nature.
Excuse me. When the governor, it was not, the appointment was not done on the platform of the PDP. The platform was the tenure of the governor, of the chairman, as it were, ended, and it was it behoves on the governor to appoint. And people, men of credible characters, were appointed. I'd like to inform you that in case you have forgotten, in that caretaker we have members of Norge who were appointed. In that caretaker we had people who are non-indigenous who were given slots, were appointed. I'm coming. In that caretaker, excuse me, I'm coming. In that, yes, I dare to say to you now that in that caretaker we had members from IPAC who are in that caretaker. IPAC is a conglomerate of all political parties in Rivers State, Interparty Advisory Council. Now, 18 political parties having to be in the caretaker. How does that now turn to mean one party?
Now, if I may ask, Honorable Olaka, when the governor inaugurated them and empowered them to take care of their local governments, the governor also told them, he said, that they should go and work for the Rivers people and also promote the good of the party, PDP. You can make your research.
That's because he is the PDP.
Each time the governor spoke to them, or commissioned them, or admonished them to work, it will always be, he will always put two things by the side: for Rivers people, for Rivers State, and for the party.
Good.
Now, how can the governor tell one who does not belong to PDP to work for the interests of PDP? So the question is, this caretaker chairman that you're saying that they do not belong to any political party at all.
I have not said so.
If you have not said so, then
let me tell you what I said.
That brings us back to our initial question. These candidates under APP.
Good.
You said the governor is of PDP.
Yes.
These candidates that are of APP, are they not the governor's loyalists?
I mentioned to you.
That they're not working and appointed on the platform of PDP.
I mentioned to viewers in the studio here that the people who are contesting the election, they only mentioned PDP, APP in this report that we're reacting to. Now, but I am saying that there has to be a digression a little. We need to expand it to let them know that whereas they have mentioned APP is just one out of the 18 political parties under IPAC. Now the entire simplified family is not an APC or APP affairs. And it is the appointment of CTC was drawn from the simplified family. And
who are under APP, who are under PDP.
Some are PDP, some are APP, some are National Rescue Movement, some are Accord, and some are Labour, some are Boot Party, and some are Zenith Labour Party. People for all the 18 political parties are members of the caretaker committee, and these same person are the people that are contesting for the forthcoming local government election.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, interesting that the governor will bring people from Boot Party and other parties, like you said.
We're going to be having a very robust election.
And charge them to work for PDP as caretaker committee chairman. I find that very interesting. But then, Ifeanyi Chukwu, what do you have to say to the story?
This is a very long read. It's one of the foremost occasions I have witnessed since my stay in Rivers State, in Port Harcourt to be precise. Even during the electioneering campaign and during the commissioning of the projects that the FCT minister, did when he was the governor of Rivers State, I never saw a so organized a function, an occasion, an expression of the people's gratitude and an expression of the people's love and the show of solidarity for the person of Ezenwonye Sonwike, the FCT minister. And before I go into the whole haul of what happened yesterday, which I followed keenly, I want to, bring to the fore some of the things that Honorable Leka said. And it is politics. That is why I'm happy he mentioned that there are 18 political parties in Rivers State. So when it comes to politics and the group of people gather, you don't undermine their capability and capacity, or you don't, by a wave of the hand, throw away the reason for which they have gathered. The people that gathered were the people of a Jaw national extraction, and they are citizens of Rivers State. For the fact that in politics, everybody will not be on the same page. That is why they say politics is an interest-driven game. Your interest lies where you find favor. So to be on a national television and say that the people that gathered are not Ijaw people, or maybe they are not the representation of the whole of Ijaw ethnic nationality, and that will now water down what they stand for. I say no to that. The camp of Seminary of Fubara, the governor, has his own followership and his own supporters. It does not remove anything from there. And the Mr. FCT minister speaking yesterday have not removed the fact that a Seminary of Fubara is an Ijaw man. He made that clearly in his statement. And when we sit down and now cast aspersions, because it is not the people that gathered are not representing our interests, and you can see the litany of who is who. Even the traditional rulers were represented, the dancing group from a Jaw nationality, and the display of their culture and their mannerism and whatever they represent played out yesterday clearly. So the next leg of it is this. When Honorable Leka was making his assertions, he asserted that the APP is not a representation of the governor's mindset, and the governor still remains a member of PDP. Then I asked him very clearly on national television, 2 weeks ago, last week, the governor made an emphatic press release that all those who are contesting, all those caretaker chairmen should contest under the platform of APP. We had it. It was a press release from the governor's office. And as I'm sitting here this morning, I don't have any information that the governor has disputed that directive coming from his office. And also we discussed it and we said that let us see, it is next Saturday, if these other political parties, the people, mandate party and the boot party and whatever, if they will have candidates sworn in as substantive chairman of the different local governments in Rivers State, time will tell. So in what the former governor of Rivers State and Deputy Minister, Barrister Wike, in appreciating the people's love for him and mandate, gave a lot of illustrations to substantiate the reason why the people gathered. I'm not going to, make mention of the people that were represented and the sons and daughters of Ijaw nationality that graced the occasion. What interests me is the takeaway from the statement of the former governor of Benue State. He's not a Rivers man. He's an ally of Nyesom Wike before 2023 elections. Although Nyesom Wike helped him when he was being chastised by APC, just like Nyesom Wike is always at a warm embrace with most of those governors that are being chastised in their political parties, like he did for the Edo State governor in the person of Gosul or Obaseki, when APC was very uncomfortable and conducive for him, Nyesom Wike came to his rescue. So Otom have not forgotten that friendship. And again, what this particular read did not capture that Sheyi Makinde was there. Sheyi Makinde made a statement that he has already, come to see a lot of things in Rivers State that were done by the governor, by the former governor. And another statement that struck me was when Samuel, who is the MD of NDDC, made allusion to the fact that he is a beneficiary of the magnanimity and the large-heartedness of Nyesom Wike. He's also an Ijaw man. And coming to say that the Ijaw nation, they are not fighting Nyesom Wike and they don't hate him, that Nyesom Wike is a friend of Ijaw nation. That makes a rubbish of 2 months ago. We sat here and we discussed some people who are saying that Nyesom Wike is an enemy to the Ijaw nation. And Nyesom Wike, in his statement, also said that when he appointed from Fubara to be the flag bearer of PDP, people came after him and said that Opopo is, after all, not not an authentic or an aborigine of an Ijaw nation. That bringing an Opopo man is not giving an Ijaw nation their deserved place in the governance of Rivers State. They said it, and he reminded them yesterday. And all those people who were chastising him are the people today who has run to Fubara, who has built their fence around Fubara and said that it is the turn of an Ijaw man. But they now forgot that an Opobo man is also an Ijaw man when Nyesom Wike floated him to take over the reins of leadership in Rivers State. Nyesom Wike did not forget to bring to fore that some people that go on television and accuse him of being an enemy to Ijaw man is also the people who have not been able to make an Ijaw man a governor in Delta State, where the Ijaw man is also being represented fully. Then when you now come down, Fintri is the governor of Adamawa State. He made a statement that I am taking to the bank, CBN for that matter, because I've always said I don't know the healthiness of other banks. He said that he has seen Nyesom Wike as a bridge builder, somebody that builds friends. He builds human capacity, infrastructure, and what have you. And he now said that a Fubara should leverage on their common and go for reconciliation. Those who has caveated it that there is no room for reconciliation, I now sit here and call on Fubara and his camp, the governor's camp, and say that they should leverage on this window that is still open, Laurentia, for there should be a reconciliation. There should be that move. And Nyesom Wike, when he was also making his statement, reminded the governor of the infractions that he's making on the constitution.
I was actually coming to that point because Honorable Olaka raised a question which I feel is very, very expedient. Probably you throw more light to that question. Honorable Olaka, while he was speaking, said that the Rivers Ejo should withdraw the statements for Fubara's misdeeds. And he said, what were the misdeeds of the governor? Yes. And in his opinion, he said, to the extent of his knowledge, the governor has not committed any misdeeds or constitutional infraction. Yes. And you recall that the FCT minister, while speaking, mentioned that the governor has also committed constitutional infraction. Of course. So now, I will also ask you the same question that Honorable Olaka threw out there. No, he didn't throw it away. Okay, he threw that question. He raised that question and said, what are the governor's misdeeds? What are the constitutional infractions the FCT minister is talking about? To the extent of your knowledge, can you list out, if there are misdeeds, can you list out what these misdeeds are? And it has to also align with the Constitution for it to have weight in this conversation.
The FC minister, while speaking, talked about the legal team, the litany of litigations, which in my knowledge that the governor's camp has not been able to win any. Governor's camp have not been able to be done and dusted with any litigation they have raised in trying to gag and trying to wait.
Litigation is different from constitutional infraction.
I know, I'm coming, because he said that he meant, and yes, Wike made mention clearly, yes, that all the litigations that have been instituted from the governor's camp or by the governor's camp, none has been won. None have been successfully been done and dusted with. And that brings, because of those litigations, is why he also took another lap to the constitutional infractions. And these constitutional infractions, some of us that sit as unbiased opinion molders have been calling on the governor's attention, so that tomorrow, when the bell begins to ring, people will not become sentimental.
So what are the infractions?
The infractions, the infractions are embedded in the judgment of Justice Omotosho of 22nd of January 2024. That particular judgment has not been appealed, it has not been vacated. That the governor should, one, take correspondence and recognize the Martin Samuel-led House of Assembly, that the Martin Samuel House of Assembly should not be denied their statutory allocations and their statutory recognition, that the governor should not, alter their place of sitting to adjudicate or to carry out their legislative functions, that the governor should represent the budget 2024 appropriation bill to the legitimate House of Assembly, that it was a nullity to have presented it to the Edison-led House. That particular judgment, made a whole lot of expose to what the governor should adhere to as it concerns the Martin Samuel-led House of Assembly. Until today, the governor have not, in my own knowledge, maybe it happened while I was sleeping yesterday, that I had represented the budget, and he has started receiving correspondence from the Martin Samuel-led House, which Nyesom Wike yesterday called out 10 out of 12 members of the House of Assembly of Rivers State that are in solidarity and who are on the side of the constitutional backing that Justice Omotosho has given to the Martin Samehe-led House. Then you to understand that the governor has also urged to have presented another set of commissioners to be screened by an illegally constituted house being led by Okojombo. And also some of the agencies and commissions that have been, their members have been screened in Rivers State. It's also a very, very big infraction and a led hand to the Constitution, as the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria empowers the Martin Samehe-led Constitution, led House of Assembly on making laws that governs Rivers State. And in this particular election that the Rivers State, the Rivers people are going into today, there are a lot of infractions that have been committed by the governor. In order to, the PDP has gone to, the APC went to court when Tony Okocha is the legally recognized CTC chair of APC in Rivers State. He went to court in his capacity as a recognized caretaker committee chairman and has asked INEC not to release the list of voters members in Rivers State for the usage of RISEC to conduct the elections. But the RISEC, as of yesterday and the chairman said they are going ahead with the elections. Again, they have also asked that the police should not provide cover for the said elections. They are also in a laid down recognized litigation that has still lying fallow in the court, that in this election that is coming up, that until these litigations are done and dusted with, the elections should be put on hold. Martin Samehe-led group made an extension as constitutionally backed by law for the extension of the period of the outgoing local government chairman to continue in office, as we saw in also the doctrine of necessity as recognized in the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria as amended in 1999, that when it is impossible, impracticable for an election to be conducted, that the House of Assembly is empowered to extend the tenure of the already sitting either members of the House of Assembly or the one.
What you just said is not doctrine of necessity. That was part of the Supreme Court ruling. The recent Supreme Court ruling in the local government autonomy. I wanted to clarify that. Of the autonomy. And also by extension, the National House of Assembly also empowered to make such law when it's impracticable to conduct an election that will bring in a new administration as concerns the presidency of Nigeria. So these infractions that can be clearly seen, backed by Constitution of Nigeria 1999 as amended, is what Nyesom Wike is pointing at. All right.
So that when tomorrow there is also another twist to this impasse in Rivers State, people will not be crying foul.
All right.
Where there is none.
All right.
I think that's, to the best of my knowledge, some of the things I know that are the infractions.
To the large extent, Ugochukwu, Ifeanyichukwu here, I guess, has answered some of the infractions you talked about. Are you satisfied with that answer?
Well, my brother in the studio had tried to explain what Boma Yaya and Co. didn't tell us in their gathering yesterday. Unfortunately, all that he has said, since it wasn't spelled out in that program, throughout the write-up as was read, reported here, Nyesom Wike didn't mention. He only said constitutional infraction. Constitutional infraction could mean your view. The last time I checked, Nyesom Wike is not a Supreme Court judge. And so he cannot constitute himself into a court of any competent jurisdiction to make a pronouncement that the governor has constituted any constitutional or committed any constitutional infraction. And so as it is, as long as there is no such ruling against the governor for today, there is no misdeed anywhere.
All right. Are you aware of the letter written to the governor by the Martin Samuel-led House of Assembly, listing out the governor's infractions and then also asking the governor to retrace his steps? Are you aware of that?
Members who have lost their seat in the State Assembly, we shouldn't be talking about it here again. We have been here over this matter.
Well,
I'm coming.
Isn't that
I'm
also
coming.
placing you in the same place
I'm
with
coming.
the governor?
I'm coming.
Because, no, hold on. Because when you say things like statements like that with finality,
I am...
Hold on, you
Okay.
still have your say. When you make statements like that with finality, it misinforms the public. Now, there was a judgment in a federal high court by Justice Omotosho, and that judgment was never appealed. It was never vacated, and the window to even vacate it has elapsed.
Do you want us to move further on
No,
this
hold
discussion
on.
or
You
not?
cannot by a statement. You are saying that you are indicting yourself, because you just said that as long as there is no court of law indicting the governor,
there is a judgment that barred the governor.
Constitutional infractions.
I hope you are aware.
Hold on, you
Okay.
will have your say.
All right.
You said that there is no no court of law that has indicted the governor of constitutional infractions.
Okay.
Therefore, whatever the FCT minister has said, whatever Ugochukwu here has said, and whatever anybody is saying does not hold water.
Indeed.
However, there is also a judgment that has authenticated Martin Samuel as the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, and also authenticated the House of Assembly. There is a court judgment in this instance, and that judgment was never vacated. It was never appealed, and the window to even do that has elapsed. And Justice Peter Lifu of the Federal High Court also reminded the APP in the last suit that there is a judgment that was never vacated, and he cannot vacate it because the window has elapsed. Now, when you look at all these things, Martin Samuel's legitimacy in this instance has constitutional backing. So if you're saying the governor cannot be indicted because there is no constitutional backing, why then are you making a nonsense of a court judgment that was never vacated? Are you not also playing into the same trap?
Can I ask you when the judgment, the court ordered the governor to present a budget to the Edison Eye-led assembly that warranted the governor to present that budget? Can you tell me when it was vacated?
The court order was vacated.
The court order
was issued or vacated?
No, he is talking of Edison.
Edison, the order that...
There was no court order that told the governor to present the budget to Edison.
Please, if you have your tape...
No, hold on. There is no court order that told the governor to present budgets to Edison.
No.
You can say there was a court order that authenticated Edison.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, you asked the question. I'm following. I'm giving you a direct answer. However, there was a court order that made a nonsense of the presentation of budget to Edison led House of Assembly. Don't interject, please. To the Edison led House of Assembly, and the same court order made the nonsense of it and ordered the governor. It was an order, actually, more of like an order of mandamus, mandating the governor to represent the budget to Martin Samuel-led House of Assembly. So these actions are backed up by law. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So you cannot, by a statement with a wave of hand, say they don't exist.
I am saying
you can't wish it away.
Hold on. Okay, you're giving me my time. Now, all of this played out at different times. Why I had to repeat what the governor has said is this. Martin Ameule and co. have lost their seat before all of this judgment and no judgment started coming on. And the governor has insisted that people who are not existing, he has merely allowed them to be existing.
How can
the governor has said so.
How can an executive, what empowers the executive arm of government?
Because
to hold on, what empowers the executive? What part of Nigerian constitution, Honorable Olaka, empowers the executive arm of government to allow the existence of the legislative arm of government? What constitutional backing does the governor have to come out and say, I allowed the House of Assembly, the State House of Assembly, to exist, and they cease to exist if I de-recognize them? Can you give me, probably in this instance I am uneducated,
yes, sir,
but can you give me a constitutional backing to support that statement by the governor? Don't deflect.
I'm coming. Yes, sir, Wike had told us, time without number, reminding us of what is the implication of defecting from your seats when you were elected on a particular platform, and the implication. Sir Siminala Efubra has merely repeated or played back what is constitutionally allowed. If you lose, you leave, you defect from a particular from a particular political party, you lose your seats without division, notable division in the party. That is an issue that was, that's the beginning of all of this confusion here. And now, as at the time when that has been done, the governor was not seeing them, and that was what led Edison Eye to get that pronouncement that necessitated the governor to recognize them and present the budget. And so at the time when you are talking about receiving of correspondence from them, the governor had to return back to make the statement when this set of persons were sitting at every joint or every hotel they see, and then begin to make a caricature of the sitting that should be done in the hallowed chamber. Of course, we are aware of what that's taking place in the hallowed chamber that
the governor,
we are aware
that the governor demolished.
No. Something happened now that led to that.
A part of
hallowed
the
chamber
house
that is not safe anymore.
State House of Assembly
that was no more safe. That is no more safe.
It was not unsafe.
The governor had said so to us before the demolition that it has to be.
Hold on, Honorable Laka.
Yeah.
The people sitting in the House of Assembly has not come out to say it is unsafe. Their governor said it is unsafe and went ahead to demolish it, and contrary to Nigerian constitution, gave the Edisnehe-led House of Assembly the government house to legislate. Where is it done in Nigerian constitution? And the Martin Samuel, by the way, we are not sitting in hotels. That's misinformation. They were sitting in the River State House of Assembly quarters. There is a hall in that quarters where they sit, where they hold their plenary. Now, you have also said that after Martin Samuel vacated their seats, the governor presented budget to Edison Ehe after a court authenticated Edison Ehe in this instance. However, you also recall that after the governor presented budget to Edison Ehe, after he recognized Edison Ehe and was working with them, the governor much later made a U-turn and still went back to the same Martin Samuel-led House of Assembly and presented commissioners to them to screen and to, hold plenaries and all that. There was correspondence between the governor. He abandoned Edison Ehe, by the way, and then faced the Martin Samuel-led House of Assembly, had correspondences with them, brought commissioners for them to screen and all of that. But regardless of all the brouhaha that has played out, the point is, in this instance, is that even as it stands, there is a subsisting court order. You can't wish it away. It was never vacated. It was never appealed. And the window has even elapsed, so it cannot be vacated. So now, moving forward, the governor never appealed that court order, nor vacated it. Edis never appealed that court order or vacated it. And when you even look at the emergence of Edis it is controversial in its own. So, you know, it is right that and very important that facts are laid bare, and then you discuss according to the facts. We can't wish away certain things that have come to existence. So now, if there is a court order authenticating those people, why can't the governor, and there is also a court order mandating the governor to represent the budget. Why can't the governor represent the budget? That is one. Number two, you said the governor has not committed any infractions. There is a court order to the effect of local government elections. That litigation has not been sorted out. But the governor, in fact, barely 24 hours after that court order was given, the governor came out to say elections will hold, nothing will stop it. That's on one hand. On the other hand, the governor has been having correspondences with the Okojombo-led House of Assembly. May I remind you that Justice Wale was the judge of the State High Court that authenticated Okojombo. And moving forward, the appeal court made a nonsense of all the orders of Justice Wale, de-recognizing Okojombo. Why is the governor still gallivanting in this instance with Okojombo that does not have a legal backing to be the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly? Can you make it make sense to me as we wrap up this conversation?
We may not be able to end this discussion because
it has so many branches.
It has so many branches.
Yes,
and the last time I checked, currently, I think the last count I made, Rivers State, as far as litigation that has to do with the House of Assembly, A and B and all of that is almost 36 cases, ranging from the State High Court to the Federal High Court to the Appeal Court. And under these circumstances, I think it is almost practically impossible for those of us who are not in the legal profession to come up with a final solution to that. I think so. We will throw that back to them.
Like a politician.
We will throw that back to them. Having said that, I'd like to say that you know, the issue of election.
Yes.
The commissioner, RISEC commissioner, Justice Enebeli retired, had told Rivers people and indeed Nigeria, reminded us that the commission is constitutionally built to take care of elections. And at the moment, the Nigerian police is also constitutionally bounded to protect lives and property. And no court order can stop them from protecting lives and property if there will be any security threat. There is no law that can say, police, do not do your job. And then, as a matter of fact, you were also informed, RISEC has said, prior to the issuance of that order, RISEC already have what they are asking the if at all.
Voter register.
Yes, if at all.
Which the justice said he got last year in 2023.
I'm coming now. Yes, I said they already have the voter register.
2023.
And there have not been any new registration since then. There have not been any new.
Is it the INEC to know?
I'm coming. You and I are aware that there have not been any issuance of any voter registration.
I am not aware.
We are all Nigerians.
Nigerians still
INEC in Rivers State have not given us any updates as to say there is an opening or there is a close as to the updating of the voter register. And so RISEC had informed Rivers people that the materials they needed for this election are already with them. And the October 5th is sacrosanct. And I stand here to join my voice with other Rivers people who are ready to follow RISEC to ensure that election is being conducted on the 5th, so that we can have executive local government that will be able to fit into what the Supreme Court has said with regards to local government autonomy. Remember that 5th of October is already taking us to 90 days. And immediately after that, by the end of October, local government allocations and everything that has to do with autonomy will start being in full operation. Recall that the governors had a meeting with federal government, and there have been an adjustment to enable various states. Yes, a 3 month to enable the various states conduct local governments and all of that. And every other state is already doing what they need to do. And so we need to give peace a chance at this point. Thank you.
All right. I know you have something to say before I move over to the next story.
My concern is not all this rhetorics. My concern is
you cannot. No.
What I want to say is about
the statement is wrong. No, you cannot reduce the opinion of another person to rhetoric.
No,
that innuendo was not nice.
No, I'm talking about What I'm trying to say is all the issues surrounding the infractions the governor has committed. No, the one is about maybe the local government election and whatever that is surrounding it is what I can't wrap my mind around it.
Okay.
Anything about the local government, I don't want to go into it. But what I'm saying is that the statement of Nyesom Wike yesterday, 28, will resonate someday. So I want it to be on record that this statement, when, we are always biased and sentimental in Nigeria. They mix politics with religion and politics with, you hear in Rivers State now, women declare prayers for Bara and they declare from Wike. Which one is God going to go? You don't draw God into this kind of impasse. So you are now asking people, like going to Wike is talking about people fighting for their stomach, and that is what ends it. But what I'm taking out from what Nyesom Wike have said is that he has raised a bar that will ring a bell in the nearest future. And what is that? The infractions of what Governor Samuel Efobara has committed so far since this political brouhaha in Rivers State has started. And Honorable Olaka wanted to say something before you cut in. Let me remind him. He wanted to say that the governor has a court order that bars him from taking correspondence from Martin Samehule.
You are quite correct.
But let
me correct that.
No, I'm coming. That's what I want to correct for him.
That order is an ex parte order, which has a 7 days lifespan.
Even if,
so if you go according to the law, the order has expired.
I know. Even if that is not even an ex parte order. If it's not an ex parte order, let us assume it is not an ex parte order. The ruling of the Supreme Court that has made because the governor went to that court, that state high court.
You're now speaking of jurisdiction.
Yes, just to go and blow, because he has already understood. For him, I want Olaka and the followers on the governor to understand that the governor knows that there is also an infraction. If not, when the appeal court made that pronouncement of the jurisdictional issue of the state high courts
and the federal high court, and those who are saddled with the responsibility of hearing cases that concerns a state house assembly, the governor quickly ran to the state high court to get after the appeal court
has given a order to now say that that the court should bar the state attorney general from receiving correspondence from Martin Samuel if he has not acknowledged those infractions, those lapses, and they come into agreement with what the appeal court have said. Why would he go and run into, if he's not acknowledging that the Martin Samuel is now the authentic speaker and the authentic House of Rivers State Assembly? Why will the governor quickly go run to a court to go and stop Martin and to go and stop the state's first judicial officer from receiving correspondence from Martin Samuel led house? So you know why I'm trying to elaborate on this.
The governor was also bad as well, not just the judicial officer. The governor was also bad because
he knew the clerk of the house was also bad. Well. They did those things so that those people who are saddled with the responsibility of receiving correspondence from the House of Assembly will be put on hold. Laurentia, why I'm saying it is that I will sit here with Honorable Oleka, life being kind to us, to know that what Nyesom Wike has raised is a yellow flag of what is to come. So that when it comes, let Nigerians bear him witness that we are not going to follow this particular issue with sentiment and with party affiliations.
Right.
That is the only submission I have to make, because there was a statement I made about a pillar. Tomorrow I will also remember the statement of Enyesom Wike of constitutional infractions.
All right. Honorable, before we move over to the next story, Honorable Olaka,
Yes.
Ugochukwu has extended an invitation to you. Probably when the constitutional infractions will become a major issue or a major topic of conversation in Rivers State politics, he has extended an invitation to also sit with you and analyze it.
I would always be here. It would be my pleasure
to
come around so that we can always digest the issues.
Settled then?
Yes.
All right. And on to the next story. Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has begged the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, not to set Oyo State on fire. ATN had reported that Wike at a function threatens to cause a political crisis in the states of any governor on the platform of the PDP backing the Rivers State Governor Simfora in the state. Makinde, during the Ajo World Congress reception in Port Harcourt on Saturday, organized for Wike, begged the FCT minister not to put fire in Oyo State. Makinde praised the former governor of Rivers State over the state's infrastructure, saying the FCT minister has done well for his people. According to him, I came from Oyo to identify with my brother and the celebrant of today, Nyesom Wike. When I showed up in Rivers State yesterday, I told him that I brought a peace offering because he has been boasting that he will put fire in some states. I told him, please don't set fire in Oyo State. Let me say on behalf of other governor colleagues and past governors here that you have done well for your people, and since I came, I have seen projects that were done during your 8 years tenure as governor. Ugochukwu, what do you have to say to this statement by Seyi Makinde of Oyo State?
Seyi Makinde is only trying to buy into the Hall of Fame, so to say, of Nyesom Wike. Remember, he made himself a prodigal son. He has been a son who found favor in Nyesom Wike. But because he played into Nyesom Wike's hand to get his second tenure on track, because believe you me, with the dynamism of the southwest politics, especially that of Oyo State, Ekiti, and Ogun State, no, not Ogun, Ondo State, you find out that it is always their elections are always surrounded by intricacies and what the unknown, the future of a sitting governor there is always unknown. Even if those who have tagged themselves as the political godfathers of Oyo State and some of those states in Southwest, because of the level of political awareness. And Seyi Makinde, he knows it that he didn't do well in his first tenure, because being a very young man, the exuberance and being given, the Igbo ontology has a proverb that when a child is given what is greater than him or her, he will now ask you, whom did you ask me to go and give? That is where Seyi Makinde found himself. To be a governor in Nigeria at that very tender age, and with all the political bourgeois and the political know-hows that are in Oyo State, and he find himself as a governor, he really didn't know what to do with that particular seat. As Nyesom Wike will tell one of the Rivers State traditional rulers when he held swear, that they give you something you don't even know, very, very young man, you don't even know what to do with it. So he now, during the campaigns, as the 2023 general election was drawing close, Seyi Makinde quickly understood that this is not a dance that you use snuff. You play snuff on your hands and begin to dance this particular dance in Nigeria. So, because it is when the tensions are nearing that you will see those people who hitherto have been scoring you will come out and be giving you your scorecards without you asking them. So he quickly ran to the shelter being provided by Nyesom Wike. And what happened. He got his second tenure back. So he quickly wanted to play the same antics that Obaseki played when Nyesom Wike delivered him in Edo State. He now went into the governor's forum trying to assume the role of the master. You know, the 48 laws of power say do not outshine the master. Given to him, he has learned from the master. He is ready to dole out the cash. He is ready to play the role of a mega financier in the PDP governors forum and in the PDP bigger family. But he had another person waiting by the side in the person of Bala Mohammed. Bala Mohammed having been a one-time federal minister, came to the fore and said that you cannot wrestle this house from me. So when the heat became much, he has to withdraw, because there is a saying that he who fights and runs lives to fight again. He now went to re-strategize. He now went back to his father, Nyesom Wike. That is what he has come to do. He has come to show solidarity. He's just using this comic words to show his loyalty 100% to Nyesom Wike, because if Nyesom Wike can make an en-route into the PDP Governors Forum as a non-governor now, Seyi Makinde knows what can happen if Nyesom Wike is looking away from what concerns Seyi Makinde. And he has clearly said it that he has seen the infrastructural development that Nyesom Wike did in the past 8 years. Maybe he did not see a new one, because if he has seen, he would have also said it. And he has said that he is always a brother. He is always a friend to be reckoned with. So for him he just tried to resonate the phrase of Nyesom Wike of putting fire. Like I said in one of my sittings, that it's not a fiscal fire. It's fire that will make your state ungovernable, and there to be a division in your own camp. If you want to put a camp, if you want to put a division in my camp, I have also have the capacity to put a division in your camp, because an Igbo adage again says that if a woman gives birth, whether you are a friend or a foe, anything that you have come with your mind to be joyful with the woman or the family who has gotten a newborn baby, it's also the same thing they will wish you. So whatever you have in mind in coming to River State is also the same thing Nyesom Wike will also want to play out in your own house. So what he has come is for solidarity, and he has also come to show unification of the camp of Nyesom Wike, which is already bubbling with a lot of energy and a lot of capacity.
Honorable Oblaka, what do you have to say to this?
A man has to worship something. And so it is not out of place for people to idolize people. You know, why some have chosen to idolize the FCT minister and put him as a demigod, we in River State have decided not to worship a small god. And we decided not to worship a small god because he doesn't have fire. If any PDP governor that put hand in my state and tries to put hand in my state, I will put fire in his state. The PDP governor you are talking about, did they say they are coming to put fire in your state? They are only coming to show solidarity to the governor who is on seat today. Like he had solidarity too from other governors when he was a governor of the state. The G5 are his own ally. Does it now mean that Governor Saseminalai Fubara cannot have his own G5 now? or G7 or G8, whatever it is. Does it now mean that if there are issues in Rivers State, because you are a governor of PDP, you will now be threatened or terrified by Nyesom Wike? You wouldn't have any alliance, you wouldn't have anything to do with a sitting governor of a state, to the extent that such statements will be made threatening sitting governor, a former governor, and then people are now coming, instead of calling the former FCT, who is the father now or a grandfather, to say no, such statements shouldn't be coming from you. You should be a unifier and not to threaten fire or begin to tell people you are going to burn that, you are going to do that. Whether they try to give it another coloration that is just a phrase or not, fire is fire. And so whatever fire he intends to put in a state, we cannot turn it to ice fire. There is nothing like cold fire. Fire is fire that he has promised to issue to states. Some of the governors of PDP have equal fire to return back. Like the thunder he sent to some of us in Rivers State, or some of the Rivers communities, especially the Calabaris or the Riverine. And I think I remember some time ago when the likes of Asari Dokubo also reminded him that they are sending fire back to him too. Sending the same thunder. And the thunder had come in another form, such that the governor he imposed on Rivers people has now turned against him to say, no, Oga, we're not going to do them the way you say, make I do them. We'll do it this way, this other way. And that is what he refers to today as people coming to set confusion in his states. Sir Siminalayi Fubara is a peaceful gentleman who has exhibited peace. Every other PDP governor who has come here in the state has come, to show solidarity, to enable him in the face of all the provocations that are befalling him. And he has remained focused and consistent in governance. In the face of all that has happened, there have not been any issuers of executive order. In the face of all that has happened, the governor had not given any marching order for anybody's business to be closed down, shut down, or sealed. In the face of all the provocation that has come, we are not seeing the governor using the authorities and the powers of the state to bring down anybody or insult anybody. Look, that's why I said, when the governor made in the other discussion, when he said, if I allow you to stay, I'm only allowing you to exist. We were all in this state for the past 8 years, and we saw that no commissioner was able to cough. No local government chairman was able to cough. Nobody was able to make a simple statement, including the traditional institution. Like my brother said here, that we remember the days of stop shaking your head. You stop shaking your head. Wearing Usman Danfodio cap. That was a governor addressing a monarch. Look, traditional rulers were reduced to nothing. They were threatened. They were asked to raise their staff up. There was nothing that was not done in this state. Look, and we cannot find that as being exhibited in Sir Siminalayi. But he has taken a different tool. He is a man of peace. And so the people who are coming to say, coming to say, please stop don't put fire in my state. Well, that is his cup of tea. If he thinks Wike has the fire to put in the state and he doesn't want fire in the state, that is for him. But I think that already we have enough fire in Rivers State. But not that we have a God-given, peaceful, loving man. That fire would have been consuming us. But we are seeing states where there is no fire. So PDP as a body, PDP and the entire Governors Forum and even the PDP National Working Committee, I think they like the fire as it's been promised. Otherwise, they should have done something and put Nyesom Wike where he belongs. Right. Because with the fire he has promised the governors, this is the same fire that made PDP to lose election. It is this same fire that made him to play anti-party openly and supported the APC Guba presidential candidate. And today he's fraternizing, frolicking with APC and playing anti-party openly. This is the kind of fire that he has promised and they are taking. So PDP should sit up and know what to do in order to extinguish this fire producer. Thank you.
All right. Yes, you will. But then, Honorable Aka, you've said a lot. And I wanted to look at the political statements and the implication of Nyesom Wike's actions or inactions as a man or as a politician. And you have said that PDP to a large extent has not been able to discipline him.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and when you talk about the presidential election, I wouldn't really want to delve in there, because one would wonder if there was a gentleman's agreement that it was the town of the South to produce a president. What was Atiku doing as a presidential candidate of the PDP, knowing it was the turn of the South and the North had just taken their own 8 years? That's another conversation for another day. I really wouldn't want to delve into that.
No problem.
But then let us look at when Nyesom Wike says, I will put fire in your state, what that could mean, and what he has done so far. Now, when you look at the 2023 presidential elections, when he worked against, when he chose the candidate he was going to support, he delivered the state to the candidate.
Okay.
You would recall, I don't know how well versed you are with Edo State politics, he had a major role to play in the emergence of Obaseki during his second tenure. Because Obaseki almost lost that seat. And then... Hold on, you have your say. And then when this second election happened, this last election happened in Edo State, your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at the political undertone and what's going on in PDP, particularly the PDP Governors Forum, the fact that Edo State lost the seats to PDP, to APC, to a large extent has whittled down the support base of Bala, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
So now that is one less threat within the PDP Governors Forum. And then when you look further, to a large extent, that also sends a message to these people. Like it or yes, he can do something if he says he can do something. I mean, people may not like Wike, but it is what it is right now. Like you raised a very salient point. Why is PDP national unable to rein him in? Now the question would be, when PDP was literally dead in Rivers State, where was the PDP national? Where was the PDP National Working Committee? Where was the PDP NEC? Where was the BOT? You understand? You cannot take away the role Nyesom Wike has played in PDP at the state level and at the federal level as well. So probably that could be one of the reasons why it's a little bit dicey to deal with a grassroots politician of that nature.
Okay.
What do you have to, because I'm looking at the political undertone of this, and why Sheyi Makinde would have to ask that question.
Okay.
Does that mean that the threat could actually be real?
Okay, I listened to former Governor Obaseki of Edo State 2 days to the election. I think 2 days to the election that took place in the last election in Edo State, when this same question was asked by the presenter, Shehu, and Obaseki did say that anybody is free to fly into Edo State. Talking about if Nyesom Wike will be in Edo to ensure you know, things go his own way. And it said anybody is free to be in Edo State at any time because of freedom of movement is allowed. That doesn't necessarily mean that the person is coming to influence the election. And he did say, the last time he checked, and even till then, that Nyesom Wike is not a voter in Edo State.
So why did he take Igodalo to Nyesom Wike to beg for his support?
And it is Edo people that would vote. This is his statement. Election has come and gone. The results have been announced. Edo people voted, and APC. What was voted has been announced. I do not see how Nyesom Wike was the one who voted there.
Now the question is, why did Obaseki take Igodalo to Nyesom Wike's house to beg for his support if there was
that could be, that's a, when in terms of politics, during consultation, so many water will pass through under the bridge. As far as you are seeking a political position, and that's what has happened.
His position was not federal, it was state.
I'm coming. In terms of consultation, if you are seeking any public political position, there are a lot of waters that will pass on that bridge. The reason is, you could know somebody that can talk to someone.
Of course.
That is the way it is.
That's right.
Now, but on the issue of election, Nyesom Wike didn't vote in Edo, and what has happened in Edo?
He was not even in Edo State.
And yes, it was not even Edo. And so what has happened in Edo State was what Edo people had wanted.
All right.
And so I don't want us to start idolizing that. Now, for Rivers State or any other state, 5th of October, there is going to be a local government election. Nyesom Wike is of PDP. PDP has categorically said, through Chukwuemeka Aaron, the state chairman of party, that PDP is boycotting the election.
Elections.
That's very fine. The remaining 18 political parties have said they are participating, including APC led
Not
by...
all political parties. Some political parties joined the APC suit and said they would participate.
Which of the APC suits?
The APC suit led
They won by Tony Kocha.
of course, and they said they
Good,
would
now that's it.
participate.
We have dealt with that matter. That one is there. When it's subject of litigation, when they get there, they know how to cross. But as far as
Some political parties
as far as what the
commissioner
commission have said, the commission has informed Rivers people that 18 political parties have collected their expression of interest form and have declared their interest to participate. And list has been published at RISEC office 2 days ago. The list of all the political parties. The IPAC chairman, Rivers State, Sensei Susema Osaro, had equally made the same notice to the people. It's in the public domain. And parties are participating. One party, PDP, is not participating. We are going to see how the fire will stop the election in Rivers State. Going forward.
Did the FCT minister threaten that he would
if you come to Rivers State, if you come to...
He never made that statement.
Hold on now. If you come to put your hand in Rivers State, I will send fire to you. It means that this is the beginning of where the whole fire matter will start. And so, before you dole out fire from Rivers State to another state, that means this is the headquarters of the fire. So, the fire should be able to make the election, the local government election, not to hold.
All right.
So, we would see how that plays out on the 5th, and after 5th, going forward, we will now head towards 2027.
All right.
He did say that this is no time for politics, that when the time for politics come, that we will teach them. Or that
you will teach them how to
play politics. So when that time come, according to him, we will see how he would play it. But for now, let everyone who thinks that there is a one-kind fire and the fire is coming, if you want to go and beg, please go and beg and save yourself. But if you don't, but for PDP, let PDP sit up. Otherwise, if they allow this kind of character that we are seeing, that's a leader who is supposed to be a peacemaker, will be issuing out threats. And rather, people will now be running back to come and beg, please don't burn me, please don't burn me. PDP should sit up and be responsible.
All right. In conclusion, what do you have to say?
I don't know what words I will use. You say I'm whittling down opinion of an analyst.
Yes, please just go on with your own opinion.
I want to make 3 quick submissions. One, my brother
Honorable
Olaka said that the FCT minister played anti-party. FCT minister never played any anti-party because it is not on record, like I've said here, that the governor made a categorical statement that the caretaker committee chairman should defect to APP. That's on record. Like I said, before I came here today, and as I'm seated here, I have not seen, heard anywhere through the print media or the audio media or visual that the governor has already made a disclaimer or from his handlers. Again, it is also the time when Chijoki Hunwa accused the governor that the election that brought him to power was rigged. The governor today, instead of issuing out a disclaimer, rather embraced the person that told the world how the election that brought him to power was rigged. Today is subservient to the governor and is also a candidate for the chairmanship election. Then, Nyesom Wike, prior to 2023 general elections, never said that he was going to support A or B. He's only made it clear that he was not going to support the candidature of Atiku Abubakar, who was the flag bearer of PDP. So we should put that on record. And as it stands today, someone that is in PDP and won governorship election in PDP with the 23 local government chairmen of PDP in Rivers State. And today, a PDP governor seated and is now floating another party, which is APP, and has gone on to tell his people to defect to PDP, who is playing the anti-party activity. And that is why, even till tomorrow, PDP cannot hold anything by their hand to discipline Nyesom Wike. That should be clearly stated, because anything you're doing is under allusion, under allege. But today in Rivers State, we can see clearly where the governor's pendulum is swinging. And again, what we are saying about whether the elections we hold or not, PDP has already stated that they are not party to the election because of the election is questionable. Both the timing and all the litigations that gone through it are questionable. So that is why PDP is not in the elections. And again, you say that Rivers people agree with the governor. Please, this is this politics, and it is an interest. Even Jesus Christ, who claimed that he has come to die for the world, not everybody is believing that Jesus Christ died for them and saved them. So you cannot sit on national television and say that the governor's side is representing the interest of the entirety of the Rivers people. Even as I'm seated here, I have my own affiliation. I have my own, the person I have affinity with. So I'm not to be drawn into an agreement that we are all aligning with what the governor is doing, as stated by Honorable Lake. I think I want to put that into perspective, so that we now say is simplified group that has now agreeing to the gospel of Senario Fobara. And other people also have somebody they listen to their own gospel and believe in them. I think we should have a caveat to that, Laurentia. That's my submission.
Honorable Laka, by the way, has, from the inception of this conversation, has made it clear that he is very
there is where he now said the Rivers people, so we have to get that clearly.
All right. Moving forward, crisis rocking the Ogun State chapter of the People's Democratic Party deepened on Saturday as the party produced 2 state chairmen and other state executive members. While the group loyal to the 2023 governorship candidate of the party, Honorable Ladi Adebutu, which gathered at the Abeokuta Sports Club, produced Abayomi Teller as state chairman, the coalition led by governorship aspirants Chief Jimmy Adebisi Lawal, the deputy governorship candidate Honorable Abdul Kadir Adekunle Akinlade, and the immediate past state's chairman Honorable Dr. Sikirulai Ogundele, which held this congress at the Newgate Exclusive Hall, Abeloba, Abeokuta, the state capital, produced Honorable Dr. Sikirulai Ogundele as the state chairman. While the Ladi group had Sunday Solarin as the state secretary, the Lawal-led group produced Alhaji Salisu Abdul Wahid or Lorun Tola as the state secretary. Both Ogundele and Solarin were the immediate past state chairman and state secretary respectively. However, they now belong to opposing camps. Also, while a journalist, Austin Oniyoko, emerged as the state publicity secretary at a congress held by the Lawal group, the Adebutu group had Adebayo Kayode, an architect, as publicity secretary. The same situation applies to the other 36 state executive positions that make up the elected state executive officers. This development is coming on the heels of the dispute that has bedeviled the world and local government congresses held on 31st August 2024 and 14th September 2024 in the build-up to the state congress. The party held parallel ward and local government congresses across the 236 wards and 20 local government areas. In Ogun State, there are two major functions, the one led by Adebutu and the coalition led by the trio of Lawal, Akinlade and Ogundele. It was gathered that in all the wards and local government areas, two sets of executives emerged for the 17 ward ESCO positions in all 236 wards and the 18 available ESCO positions in each of the 20 local government areas. What do you have to say to this, Honorable Olaka?
Well, it's a continuation of the last discussion wherein I said PDP needs to sit up. PDP needs to sit up because, you know, there is a popular adage that when the head of fish in my place, where the head of fish is bad, you have nothing to do with the remaining parts. And so, if the leadership of the party did not sit up properly and do the right thing, this is the results that we will get. The leadership, the PDP is one in Nigeria and not two. The PDP leadership, national leadership, would direct the state's congresses. And whatever is going to emanate from that assignment that is given is what is supposed to return back to the national office and national secretariat. I don't want to. There was no reports that the national leadership of PDP had directed that there should be parallel congresses, but because the proper thing has not been done, that gives room to a breakaway where you have parallel congresses running side by side in the entire state. And so you recall that even in Rivers State here, the last Congress that was conducted here, LGA World and LGA Congress,
yes,
we also have information about litigation. Go ahead, don't go ahead. Run the Congress, don't run the Congress, and all of that. And in the midst of that crisis, Congresses have been held. Whereas a particular faction is also saying you are breaching or you are going against court order. If the same thing had played out in Rivers State and they are still subject to litigation, we do not even know if that Congress would have a repeat of what befell APC prior to 2019, where issue of disobedience to court order made APC at the long run not to even file in candidates for the 2019 election, where they had to go and adopt Awara of the AAC. If PDP is not careful, that scenario may play out in Ogun State. That scenario may play out even in Rivers State because of what is happening. And so there shouldn't be, they shouldn't be allowing things to continue to pile up without taking necessary action. Whoever between the both camps of Flower and the other, they need to be called to order as quickly as possible. The national leadership of the party, the BOT, they must sit up and get down to the business of administering the party, without which this crisis will not just end this way. This is what I will not see, because a house that is divided among itself cannot stand. The 2027 general election is fast approaching. Before you know it, we are out of this year. And by the time we get into 2025, every other activities are beginning to accumulate. The election is getting close. Where do you think Ogun State PDP would be in the face of this crisis? And all of that will boil down to what is happening at the National Secretariat. And so the NEC, BOT, and indeed the entire national leadership of PDP, they need to sit up.
All right. All right, Ifeanyi Chukwu, what do you have to say?
To a large extent, I agree with what Honorable Laka said, because this is clearly a party politics and a show of force and capacity. The politics of greed, quest to grab power, a politics of meism. They are not playing the politics for what politics is all about. They are just, if it's not me, it can be no other. If I'm not there, we'll pull down the roof. That is what elicits such parallel congresses. Because if you look at all these places PDP are having issues, especially in Southwest, PDP have not been doing well. They have been, it's just through the eye of the needle, they have been winning the elections. They have, maybe they have, is it Ogun State? I think this is Ogun, where Adeleke is. I think it's Adeleke State. Yes. Then Adeleke and Seyi Makinde State, Oyo State. Yeah. And to show you that this capacity, it is not gotten through the law school. This capacity we are talking about is what comes through leadership quality. Adeleke has not shown leadership quality. And it's unfortunate that at the end of the day, PDP might lose that particular state, you know, that they fought hard to really, you know, recapture. So in this instance, if you read that story very well, you find out that then one of the group, I think it's Lade Ogunlewe group, has the authentic backing of the national. So at the end of the day, it just boils down to people trying to cause distractions, and the PDP allowing themselves to play into the hands of the opposition, allowing themselves to be used. Clearly, that is what I'm saying. But for what we have read and what we have heard about this Congress, there are an authentic register of revalidated members that were handed over to the group that came to supervise the particular election. So at the end of the day, I think once they finish the election, the group that came for this particular assignment will submit their reports, and it's left for the NEC, the BOT, and the NWC to take their stance. Right. But the earlier they start, you know, nipping all these infractions in the bud, the better for PDP to reposition itself to capture power, even in the national.
All right, but it's important to also make a correction. Yes. Adeleke is actually Osun State governor, and not Ondo State. And now,
I now call, okay, you see, even in a state they are not holding swear. They are having these parallel congresses. They are only playing to the hands of the opposition, the APC, even the ruling party. So you know that there was a call I made to Adeleke and Seyi Makinde. It is now we see their capacity as governors. So we call them out for them to do the funds, and they should be seen as a voice that when there is these infractions in the parties, they don't have governance or government in power. Those brother governors in those sister states should be the people mediating and making their voices heard in such situations, Laurentia.
All right. Organizers of the scheduled October 1st nationwide protest have written to the Nigerian police to seek for adequate security for their members. This is contained in a statement jointly signed by the Education Rights Campaign, Movement for Fundamental Change, Youth Rights Campaign, Joint Action Front, and Pan-African Consciousness Renaissance. In a press briefing on Thursday, Hassan Soweto, National Coordinator of the Education Rights Campaign, called on Nigerians to engage in peaceful protests against anti-poor policies. The organizers noted that in Lagos, the protest will commence at Ikeja under bridge at 7:30 a.m. with participants marching through various streets to raise awareness. They also asked Olarenwaju Ishola, Lagos State Commissioner of Police, to provide adequate security for the participants in line with the Police Establishment Act 2020. By this announcement, we inform the Commissioner of Police of our planned October action and remind the police of their obligation under Section 83, Subsection 4 of the Police Establishment Act 2020 to provide adequate security for the citizens participating in public meetings, rallies, and protests, they said. This action serves as a warning and urgent cry for the Tinubu administration to address our demands immediately. If our demands are not met, more protests will follow the National Day of Survival. Given reasons the protest must hold, the organizers opine. We invite you on another journey to redeem our nation as we continue to stand against the anti-poor policies of this regime, the statement reads. As is obvious to everyone, none of the demands of our 10 days of rage in August has been met. Rather, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu simply went ahead to use our national treasury to procure luxury cars, aircraft and other luxuries for himself and the first family without caring a hoot about the plea of hungry Nigerians. To show the absolute disdain that the federal government holds for the people, Tinubu has gone ahead to now unleash on Nigerians another round of hike in fuel price earlier this month. As we speak, the price of fuel hovers between 900 naira per litre to 1,900 naira per litre, depending on which parts of the country you are. Meanwhile, less than 2 years ago, a litre of fuel did not cost more than 200 naira per litre. This is outrageous. This is intolerable. As a direct consequence of this increment, life has become unbearable for many Nigerian people. Many are starving as the increase in fuel price has also impacted food prices. Inflation has rendered 70,000 naira, rendered the 70,000 naira new minimum wage irrelevant and incapable of bringing any relief to Nigerian workers. At the same time, the sharp rise in the cost of imported goods has rendered traders and shopkeepers redundant, as shops are overflowing with goods that no one is ready to buy. The situation has also affected businesses and industries. Nothing less than 10 multinational firms have left the shores of Nigeria between May and last year, leading to even more job losses. Based on the foregoing, we of the hashtag End Bad Governance movement have decided to declare October 1st, 2024 as National Day of Survival. Let me start with you, Gochukwu Ifeanyichukwu. Now, first of all, they have called on the police to grant security to the protesters, and they have changed the Independence Day to National Day of Survival. What do you have to say to this?
When you talk about the governance and the system of governance in Nigeria, I can't wrap my head around any of it, Laurentia. This is sad. This is we are in a state of unimaginable anguish. We're in a state of not knowing what to do and whom to run to. This is why Oyibo people have a caveat of saying that who will bear the cat. Nigeria is in a situation on a crossroad that we are now asking who will bear the cat. With the government listing, all these goods, items that they have listed out, it's what is playing out in Nigeria, and the president knows it. His handlers knows it. You know, are you talking about the police to provide security? Are the police going to obey the Police Act, or they are going to obey those in power that we turn around and use them against the masses? That's the million-dollar question. At the end of the day, you'll be counting how many people have been unlawfully, arrested, waiting for arraignment, as we have people from NSAS are still languishing in different correctional. I don't know whether I will call that correctional or prisons now, because when somebody you are arrested during protest, what are you going to correct the person? If you put the person in the place you call a correctional center, what are you correcting? Are you correcting the person now, telling the person that that hunger that made you come out, or that police brutality that stared every Nigerian in the face is no longer real? Is that what you're going to teach the person when you now put the person in what you call a correctional center? They put them in prisons. The people that went out on bad governance protests, are you going to put them in a correctional center to now begin to tell them that what made them march through the streets is not a reality? I don't understand. If we make a mockery of the names, we begin to name our institutions. Look at it. People are saying that, look at what we are passing through. What the presidency did was to overlook Nigerians. Ababio was in his house laughing and eating. And they made that boost. All of them ran away. When the End Bad Governance protest came, they came back again, start eating and drinking. At the end of the day now, look at what they are saying. That they went ahead to purchase aircraft, luxurious cars. Are you talking about the government, Laurentia, or are we talking about what we see in the religious circle? The people that should be the people that are, at the lowest connection with the people that they are collecting offering of 1 naira, 2 naira from. You don't even, the church, you're talking about the government. These protests should start from the churches. From the so-called churches that people are giving their widows might. You will use biblical philosophy and whatever and convince people to bring money to you. At the end of the day, you're using it to buy expensive cars, build schools that the church members cannot send their children. You hear of somebody that is celebrating birthday and they're buying luxurious car. When people in that particular environment that you can connect with, you're not talking about Tinubu in Abuja that don't know what people are passing through. After all, one of the senators, Alin Dume, told us that there are built fence around him. But what of a pastor of a church that is connecting with the downtrodden every day, preaching the sermon on how Jesus fed the 5,000 and picked how they cared for the multitude? But you are using the money you will use in reaching out to these people, and you are buying frivolities of a passing life that you will preach, that this life is passing, that you take nothing away from it when you die. At the end of the day, your lifestyle is not commiserate with what you are turning out from a pulpit.
All right.
I don't want to talk about this, Valencia. Let's wait how many people will be arrested at the end of the day. Nothing will change.
All right.
Continue to survive.
What do you have to say to this?
When I got an invitation to come to this place for this program today, you know, the invitation came on a very short notice. And you told me that today is a Sunday and the road is going to be free. I didn't bother to argue with you because I know that the road has been free even till when it's no longer, not even Sunday. You know why? You could count the number of cars on the road.
I told her when I came.
The road was as if there was this sit-at-home order.
I have a collaboration.
As I'm telling you. We were just taking a smooth ride. No car on the road.
Okay.
Everybody has parked, including myself. I paid from Element to this place now 4,500. Where I'm coming from, yes. 4,500.
You took e-hailing?
No, to go as in to and fro. Public transport. You enter and drop.
Are you surprised?
I've invited you to come
from Rumosi here to where your sister radio station is. Somebody paid 1,002 on Friday. He was saying it on air.
I've asked you to come to Element. Just come and have an eye view. Just come, get some facts. So when you'll be talking to Nigerians on this TV, they will understand what you've seen there. You enter from here, from Rumola to Eleme, we pay, before now, I pay 500, 400. But today, as I talk to you, you pay minimum of 800 naira. Minimum 800 naira. So, and then from Rumola Junction to this place, minimum of 500 naira right now. Now, of course, when you drop, you have to assess where you're coming from. So when you put that together, 4,500 to get from Element to ATM. This is just a tip of just one part of the issue to be discussed. Nigerians are not ready yet.
No.
For this end bad governance. Nigerians are not ready yet. If Nigerians are ready, they won't waste their time. The organizers of this protest won't waste their time to even put an ink to give to the police. They will not bother. Because the last time I checked, every police officer that is in Nigeria, first of all, the police quarter is a place that looks like a prison itself. Visit any police station and see if you can breathe well. Beginning from the reception into even into the DPO's office, you can't even find a good seat to sit down.
Yes.
You go to the PHED office to go and pay NEPA bill. They are using a pass my neighbor generator to type the receipt of your payment and give you. There is generator on in the PHED office where you're going to pay.
For lights.
For lights.
For
you are paying. You want to pay for darkness, but they are using light. This is the same Nigeria. I said Nigerians are not ready yet because the last time I checked, Edo State that we just discussed that election passed had so many other candidates. It was not two candidates that contested for governorship. Why are we running around and talking about PDP and APC alone in that election? What happened to the rest candidates of that election? Can't we do away with these people that have impoverished us? Don't we have better and other ways of removing these people when the election comes? You know, don't we have other ways of protesting? Don't we have so many other means? Do we need to look? The last time I checked, Nigerian Labour Congress has become like one of the affiliated bodies of the federal government, where they back in the morning and at night they go to sleep, or they back at night. In the morning, the next thing you hear, they have called up. The next morning you wake up, there are written letters to all the affiliate unions, say, all the bodies, everybody shut down. Tomorrow we are going to go on this and the strike, and nobody. And gradually you are seeing Nigerians walking into hell. 500, 600, 900, 1,000, 1,200 to 1,900 a litre of fuel. That the dispensing stations have all adjusted their meters. Now we have to buy. The last time I bought fuel, I had to go and buy this other can that has this meter gauge, so that when they are pouring, I will see. I will no longer buy into my my tank again. I will go back. When we drive, you drive and then you park somewhere. You bring out, open your tank. I know the open tank. You bring out your 10 liters and put. There is a gauge on it. So as they are putting, they say I want to buy 2 liters. They put 2 liters. You now see it 1 liter. And they tell you it has ended, and then the nozzle will still be blowing and all that. That's the kind of country we find ourselves. And so, what are we talking about writing? What are we talking about and all of that? Look, when Nigerians are ready to protest, we will wait for October 1st. We will not be organic. Yes, it will be organic. We won't wait for October 1st.
No, this ones they are playing to the gallery.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Honorable Olaka, for coming on Open Air. Thank you so much, Ugochukwu, for coming on Open Air.
It's pathetic, Lauren.
Sadly, we are out of time.
It's pathetic.
And this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Open Air. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Ogu Lawrence. See you same time tomorrow. Don't go away.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To forget this act, I thought that we get the lead of this minister and the government.
Give us access to our money in charge.
I've always said there are two sides of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites. Which I
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.